So I bet you've been wondering, where on earth is the flaming eyeball? Well, it's now in the garage of the house as I'm doing some modifications to the bike shop, making the bike shop move to the house, and this is going to be the powder coat shop. Yes, the flaming eyeball is beginning to do some powder coating, and hopefully we can bring some services to you. So where have I been? Man, all of this stuff going on. First of all, we had the holidays. I had some time off, went and visited my dad and some family. So we took the train from Virginia to Missouri. It took us about 36 hours to go to Missouri by train. We had to go up to DC, through Chicago. Well, fun times overnight on a train. Could be better, could be worse. It actually wasn't too bad. I was able to get a little bit of sleep, so it was good. Rolling into Chicago now, and just passing Lake Michigan. I was trying to get some pictures of it, but then they kind of went away, and it's just all junky train yards. We're at Chicago's Union Station. We found us a quiet little corner. Union Station, Chicago. And it was about 36 hours on the train. Then we stayed for about a week over Christmas and came back home right before New Year's. And let me tell you, the train was a lot of fun. It made the trip out there. I didn't have to worry about it. I could sleep whenever I want to, get up and walk around. The seats in the train were very nice. They were like first class airline seats, so they would recline, and they had a little part for your feet to come up and all that. So they were really pretty nice, but I mean, it's not like you would want to stay on the train for a long time without a sleeper car, like if you're going cross country. And we made it back just before all of the big snowstorms in Virginia and all that stuff that shut down I-95. I've been working on the business. I've been designing some graphics. I've been getting ready for some other events that are coming up. Probably see some of you in Florida at the Big Honkin' Trike Rally in Inverness, coming up at the end of February. Yeah, so the big news is converting some space in the garage to a powder coating shop. So let me show you around a little bit. So if you recall, I did some powder coating on my Sprint X26, where I made a lot of the accessories and a lot of the attachments purple, to include the chain rings and the crank arms and the neck rest holder and a whole bunch of things that I did. I made it purple. And once I did that, I was like, I really like this powder coating thing. And so what I'm doing is I'm adding to that shop, kind of rearranging some things. As you can see behind me, I've built a spray booth. This is to collect the powder. Before I had that spray booth done is when I powder coated my Sprint, and my whole shop had powder all over it. If you recall, we had a purple snake at one point. That's because there was purple powder all over my shop. I've incorporated this spray booth, and it has some filters in it. So it's got those filters down at the bottom, and you can see how that helps to collect a lot of the overspray powder from doing powder coating, the process of powder coating. So you always have some overspray. And I've been practicing on things like this, on cups, and mostly cups. I have some dog bowls that I want to do, put some names on them, but I've done these cups. In the process of doing all that, I built a small sandblasting cabinet that I built out of an old table. I just took a table and I cut some holes in it and enclosed the back, basically made a box, and used the top of the table for the part where I put my arms through, and then set up a small Harbor Freight sandblaster that's designed to be for an outdoor one, but I modified my table to catch all of the overspray, or the media, the blast media, so I can recollect it so I don't have to keep going through it. And I bought this small one because the air compressor that I have can keep up with the feature. So now I'm in the process of building the oven. I could buy an oven, but they are several $1,000s more than I want to spend if I buy it. And for the price, I can assemble my own materials. I can buy the heating elements, I can buy the controllers, I can buy the thermocouples, the temperature sensors, all of that stuff for about half of the price, maybe a little bit less than half price of what I could buy an oven for the size that I want. I'm gonna build, originally I was gonna build a 4x4x7 because my ceilings in my shop are 8 feet tall. And with the lights hanging down and the garage door hanging down, it's too much for me to put it up to that height. And I can't build it all the way touching the ceiling because I don't want the oven right up against the ceiling. I want it to have some space, some clearance. So I'm gonna build mine 7'6", which will clear the lights and the ceiling with no problem. And I can put my circulating fan on there and it shouldn't be an issue for clearance. I also decided to go ahead and build it 5 feet by 5 feet, since the tracks that I got are 10 foot long, and I realized after cutting the first one, I was originally going to make it 4 foot by 4 foot, and after cutting the first one I realized, wait, that's going to be a whole lot more cutting for doing the same thing, and adding an extra foot of space is going to cost me more in heating with the elements and with electricity, but in the long run I can fit bigger things inside of it. Hopefully I will be able to get a booth that's big enough for a trike frame, and if I can do that, my Sprint X may become purple. So that said, one of the things that I'm going to be doing is offering powder coating for trike accessories at first, and then maybe full-size trikes. But that's a ways down the road. We'll have to see what happens. A lot of accessories you can get for a trike or your recumbent bikes, they all come in black. So I personally like all kinds of colors, and purple is my favorite color. So I want to offer all these accessories so you can have them powder coated. Powder coating lasts a lot longer than paint. It's quite a bit more durable. Now you can't touch it up unless you use paint that matches the color that you got, but it's a lot more durable than regular paint, and I am really enjoying the process of doing powder coating. So we're gonna put the oven together. We're gonna be working on that. At the same time, I'll be getting the ELB Trike, and we're gonna be converting a lot of those accessories, a lot of the little bits and bobs on the trike. She has an Ice Vortex 2, which was the predecessor to the Sprint. And we're gonna be coloring some of those. For her, I got a nice color from the place I get my powders from is Columbia Coatings out of Columbia, Tennessee. And we're gonna do hers a green metallic. So that's gonna be fun. So that's where I've been and what's going on. Just wanted to give you guys an update. I do have to put together a video for kind of an overview of 2021. I didn't do a lot of riding. There were so many other things going on. I was working with our farm. I was working with our chickens. We got some more chickens. We've been selling eggs. We've been doing some of those things. We had a lot of fun times in our garden. We had a lot of eggplant and corn and peppers, and I did a lot of pickling. We grew a lot of cucumbers, and so there was a lot of stuff going on, just other things going on, and I didn't have a lot of time to do riding. As far as my annual picks of the pick takers, I only have about 8 of them, but I'll still put something together and throw that in the 2021 review. So that's where we are for this year. Thanks for joining me and sticking around. Until next time, cheers.